Okay, hey, there I am in the top right corner there. So anyways, I just got home from a gig. My brain is a little bit fried, but I'm going to try to get through this succinctly. All right, so it's just kind of a couple sort of physical things you can do to kind of get a little bit of that Jerry sound. It's, there's not actually a lot of theory involved here. I'm going to try to keep the theory to the minimum. Of course, the more theory you know about this, the better it's going to help you out or whatever. But if you need the smallest amount of theory, this song is in the key of A. And we are going from this C shape A major chord, which hopefully you know. It's just like, our root is on the 12th fret with our pinky. And we're coming out of our C shape here with our bar. So hopefully you know that. And hopefully you know the scale. If you don't know this, it's super easy to look it up. Just look up C shape major scale, and your pinky is going to be on the root. So in the case of A major, we're at, I'm just going to go through it real quick here. You can skip this if you need to. 12, 9, 11, 12. No shift needed here. Our hands are never going to move. 9, 11, 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12. Back down. 12, 10, 9, 12, 10. 12, 10, 9, 12, 10, 9, 11, 11, 9, 12, 11, 9, 12, 11, 9, 12, 10, 9, back up, 10, 12, 9, 11, 12. So hopefully you know that. If not, that would be the one piece of theory that you might want to know, but even if you just learned it, there it is. Hand doesn't need to shift at all. Okay, so our chords here are all in the key of A major. So what I'm going to show you, the one technique is going to work over any chord, any note, anything. But the first technique I'm going to talk about is kind of a couple notes to add to our major scale to kind of get that Jerry sound with these sort of cool intervals. So what we're going to do is basically, let's go through the scale. I'm just going to show you kind of where to add the intervals. Okay, so we're going 12, 9, I want you to add 10 on the D string, 11. So normally it would be 12, 9, 11, 12. But now we're going full chromatic, 12, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 9, I want you to add 10 and 11. Okay, then that's it. Everything else is the same. Same thing coming down. 11, 10, 9, 12, 11, 10, 9, 12. And if you kind of need to think about that as a new scale, it's not the greatest way to think about it, but it's fine, whatever. Hopefully you dive into your theory more if that's why you're thinking about it, but either way, this is going to help you get there. Okay, so the chords in our song are alpha, A major, D major, A major, A major, F sharp minor, C sharp minor. These are all chords in our scale. D major, A major, back down to F sharp major, then A major, delta, D major, back to A. So they're all chords in A major. Hopefully you know that. If not, hopefully eventually you do. But you can also hear nothing's really an outlier there, right? So without thinking about it, just adding those extra notes. And you're basically going to especially want to think about them as like, if I'm thinking I'm adding this note, 10th fret D string. I'm going to think about it, it wants to go up to our regular scale tone of 11th fret D, or back down to our regular scale tone of 9th fret of the D string. So it's going to want to go towards a scale tone or a chord tone for sure. But basically you want it kind of running towards one of your normal notes in the scale or the chord. Okay, same thing here. Right, on the G string, same thing. 10th fret to 11th fret. And there I'm going to like the root, the B string on the 10th fret. Or back down, 10, 9, 10, 9, 11, okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a tiny little bit with without using these extra intervals. And if we were to break these down, and I highly suggest hopefully you get your theory together if you're not really understanding this, you'll see that over a lot of the chords in the scale, these just accidentally happen to be the cool notes. Like on our A major, that's our minor third to our major third. And on our D major, that's our minor third to our major third. And on our F sharp minor, oh, that's our flat 5 to our 5. These are all the money notes. Flat 5 to 5 is like the quintessential. That sound, we use it over the minor all the time. Lord knows Jerry did. Okay, so, but we don't need to know any of that. Just add those notes and see what you can make sound-wise. So I'm going to play a little. Okay, technique número dos. Okay, so the other thing we hear Jerry do a lot, and I did a little bit in that intro, is he will kind of use, like, he will replace the note he's playing with a bend from a note underneath. So, for example, like, or like I know in Europe 72, I think it's like the China Cat, you know, he's doing like and he's like goes, right? So instead of hitting this E on the 12th fret, he's bending up to it. So a lot of what you hear him do in a lot of songs, but I heard it in a lot of the Peggy-O stuff, is if we stay, let's just stay in that same scale. Okay, so if we're up on that E, you're going to hit like the 12th fret of the E, high E, 12th fret, top string. And then you're going to go to the 11 and bend up to that note. So now our next note on the scale is this 10th fret of the high E. It's a D note. Bend up to it too. Any note that you're playing, you can bend up from a half step or a full step. The half step is easier. Jerry oftentimes will play the note, right? You hear that, he'll play it, and then he'll like swoop up to it underneath. So, does that make sense? Hopefully it does, because it just gives this kind of vocal quality. If I'm going to play this E, you know, if my phrase is like, that's totally great, but if we want to give kind of a vocal strained, you know, the thing about a vocal is it's strong, but even the greatest vocalist, it's kind of fighting to stay in tune, and you know, it's sort of that tightrope walk thing, which makes it exciting, gives it energy. So instead of going, you know, right? I bent from the 11th to the 12th, and then I bent from the 10th to the 12th. Okay, so you can do this with literally any note you're playing. If you only know, like, you know, if you're playing like your blues scale and you're an A, right? A lot of people know, or let's just do the pentatonic in A. It's a lot of the scale that people learn first, right? 5 8 5 7 5 7 5 7 5 8 5 8. If I just like my exercise would be like 8, then bend 7 to 8, 5. Bend 4 to 5. 8, bend 7 to 8. 5, 4 to 5. You can bend down too. Right? Whatever you can do to kind of get used to. Instead of going, which was like, I'm in A minor now. I should go to A major because that's what the song is in. So if we're down here on our A major pentatonic, going like 5 2 4 2 4 2 4 2 5 2 5. right? I'm kind of just like playing the notes and then bending from the one below it. It is a really great technique. Jerry uses it. A bunch of people use it, obviously, but it just, you can hear how it gives energy. So anyways, you know, you can come up with a million exercises. The one I just did was just, you know, trying to say like the pentatonic. I'll do that an octave up so it's easier to see. Just going. So I'm doing 17, 16 up, 14, 13 up. 17, 16 up, 14, 13 up. 16, 15 up, 14, 13 up. One below every time, right? 16, 15 up, 14, 13 up. 17, 16 up, or 16 up but pulling down. 14, 13, pull down into it. 17, 16, pull down into it. And 14, pull down into it. So. It's funny, I did the wrong thing. I did 17 on the A string. It should be 16, sorry. Maybe I did it. My brain is a little fried from the gig. Anyways, okay, so I'm gonna lead this out and hopefully that all makes sense. I'm gonna play like maybe, you know, a round or whatever, just with like not using these extra intervals. I'm gonna go back down here into our first little scale we were talking about, position A major. I'm gonna do the first little bit with none of the extra notes, and I'm not gonna do any of the bending replacement things. And then I'll switch and I'll do a whole bunch of that leading out. I hope this helped. I hope this makes sense. It's kind of a cheap and easy hack way to do it, but hey, sometimes, especially when we're beginning, you know, get addicted to the sound and then figure out why it works. Okay, here it goes. Thanks, y'all. And like I'm supposed to say, subscribe and like and all that, and that would be super helpful. Thank you.